God, I'm looking at these photos, just looking at all these guys that are no longer with us anymore. Yeah, jeez.
Gave him one hell of a last ride then.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're right.
Talk a little bit about your foundation, kind of its premise, and what you guys have accomplished to this point.
Yeah, it's been pretty special, actually. I mean, it's called the Best Defense Foundation. Of course, it's a play on words because obviously I play defense, you know. Well, I've been doing this kind of work for over 22 years, and 14 years I've been taking World War II veterans back to where they fought and served. 14 years and over hundreds and hundreds of veterans that I've connected with, and I just know the impact that it has on the greatest generation. And I want to continue to do that. For me, I just want to make sure that we give back to the men that gave so much to us. You know, I'm very, very fortunate to be born in this country, to have an opportunity to play football, and to change my life, to get educated, to see the world, to have this platform, to give back to our men and women that serve this great nation. And I'm truly honored, and you know, I want to be a man of service, and I want to serve the guys that served us. And part of our motto is taking care of the ones who took care of us. You know, and it's just so poignant because it rings true going back to my grandfather.
And you mentioned your grandfather there. He was such a big influence on your life. Is he the reason you started this foundation? How much did he have to do with all of this?
Yeah, well, Maximino Razzo, I mean, he was my father figure in my life. My dad, unfortunately, wasn't present in my life, but, you know, my grandfather was that, you know, that figure in my life. And he's a Pearl Harbor survivor, Native American, Apache Indian. He was at the Schofield Barracks when the Japanese bombed us in December 7th, 1941. And, you know, he was always a man of pride and composure and a patriotism. And at a young age, I was always taught to stand up straight, put your hand over your heart, you know, like, you look at that flag, it's more than a flag, Donnie. That means opportunity. That means no matter where you come from, if you work hard in this country, you can achieve anything you want to, but you have to work hard. Part of, like, you know, how we got to this point with the Best Defense Foundation is truly because of his legacy and what he's done to instill the qualities of service and of pride and of country.
If he could see you right now and see what you've done and who you've helped, what do you think he would say to you?
He'll be proud. He'll be proud for sure. Before he passed, he had an opportunity to see me play, and he knows the work that I've been doing in the military for such a long time, always recognizing and supporting our guys in service.
When you take these World War II veterans back to where they've been, sometimes that original day might have been the worst day of their life, might have been the most emotional day of their life. How do those connect? How do they take it from the worst day of their life to closure?
You know, that's an interesting question, because this past June, for the 75th anniversary of D-Day, we took back 16 World War II veterans. And one guy in particular that I'm thinking about right now is Jerry Deitch. And I called him, he's like, no, been there once. I saw all the death and destruction. He's like, no, I don't want to do it. And I said, all right, sir, but, you know, just so you know, because I've been doing it such a long time, I think it's different now. I mean, you're not going by yourself, you're going back with your brothers. And I played ball, and there's something about team, something about the brotherhood, the camaraderie. And I said, you're going back with, you know, the guys that were there in the foxhole with you. And they seen it all, you know, so they're able to speak that language. I don't speak the language, you don't speak the language, but they do.
Yeah.
You know, so you're going to be fine. You're going to be together, and it's a totally different situation. There's going to be so many people that there want to, like, you know, thank you, shake your hand, kiss your cheek, and just say thank you for liberating them. And then he calls me a week later. He's like, you know what? I want to do it. I want to do it. Donnie, I'm in. I want to do it. This is good. This has been something that I never talked about before, and it's just coming to me now about what I did, you know, what we did 75 years ago. And I think it's time. I think it's time. After going through the 10 days in Normandy, he's energized. He's so proud. Feels like a man of, like, you know, purpose of what he and his brothers did, because they go back there and you see, you know, what it was all for. It wasn't in vain. You see all those thousands and thousands of people there, from the older to the younger kids. Just want to say thank you. Thank you for coming here halfway across the world, not speaking our language, but coming here to liberate us from tyranny, you know, and it's special, and I'm glad that he got an opportunity to see that, and I mean, goosebumps right now thinking about it, to give him that opportunity to close the loop, to close that circle, to go back with his brothers, to have that bond. It's just truly incredible, you know, and I'm just really happy that I can help create that environment for those men and women.
It's giving me goosebumps too, just hearing you talk about it.
You probably hear my passion. Like,
absolutely.
I'm like, you know, I get it because like I'm born and raised here in San Diego. All of my family served in the military. You know, I understand the sacrifice to all the men and women that put that uniform on, that raise their hand and say, you know, I want to join the service. You know, I mean, it's not, you don't have to do it. This is all volunteer. You know, we have a volunteer army, and it's special that these men and women are the ones that like stand up and say, I want to defend this country. I want to defend freedom and our values and the way that we live. It's incredible. It really is incredible.
And I'm seeing videos of you getting in foxholes with these World War II veterans. What are your emotions like? And you're sitting where they sat and they're telling you stories about where a bullet hit them.
Yeah, there's different feelings that you experience throughout the way. In one particular example, Tom Rice and I, who's from Coronado, from San Diego, born and raised, he was born in the same house that he lives in today, 98 years ago.
It's unbelievable.
It's incredible. And we took him back last year to Bastogne in the Battle of the Bulge, where he was fighting with the 501st, and we took him back and we found this foxhole. We did some research and found this foxhole, and he's like, Donnie, you mind if I go down there into the foxhole? I'm like, into the foxhole? He's like, yeah. And Tom is, Tom's a paratrooper and tough, and taught school at Chula Vista High School in Hilltop for 44 years. He's pretty fit, that's what I'm saying. And I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, let's, because it's down, right?
Yeah.
So we take him down here, and he wants to lay down, so we lay him down, and I get back up and just let him have his moment and stuff like that. Then he calls me, Donnie, come down here with me. So I go down in there, and just laying in foxhole. He's just looking around. It's his first time back. And he's looking around and looking at the trees and the smells, and he starts talking. And then all of a sudden he starts pulling up his arm sleeve and talking about when he got shot by the sniper. From right over there, you see that right there? From right over there, and he's pointing, I got shot by a sniper in his arm, and I see his scar. He said, came in this way, came out that way, and I'm like, wow. He's like, that's not even the worst one. He pulls up his leg, pulls up his pant leg, and you can see where he got shot in the leg, and that's a huge scar. I mean, and I look at this guy, these heroes are right among us. Seriously, there's so many of them, especially in our community of San Diego. There's so many of them. Like, here's a teacher at my high school who, that defeated tyranny. This guy jumped behind enemy lines. Someone's shooting back, and they hit him, but he's still there, and it's incredible. And I think about the freedoms that we have and the opportunity that I have, I come from a very big family in humble beginnings. And we didn't have much, but we made it, made do. And only in America, because of what our military, what they've done, that I get an opportunity to change my life. So I get those feelings, to go back to your question, I get all kind of different feelings, when I think about that, when I see the scar, and was it worth it? Absolutely, because I'm living proof of it. I'm an example of people serving and giving back and making a difference. I'm a product of it. So now I'm on the other side. I benefited from it. Now I have an opportunity with my platform to serve and give back. And that's what I feel, that's my calling.
People will call you a hero because of stuff you've done on the football field. But when these, and you say it yourself, these heroes, these World War II veterans come up and thank you for what you've done for them, taking them back. I mean, how crazy is that to you?
Yeah, no, they are the heroes, Everyone that raised their hand and said, I want to defend America, in my book, they're heroes. And especially with these guys, this generation, the greatest generation, is some of the most humble, down to earth, people you've ever meet in your life. After the war, they just went to work, put their head down, raised families, and didn't talk about it. It's like, hey, Donnie, I'm not a hero, I said, well, you're my hero, You're like, no, I just did my job, and yeah, but you did it, and you did it. You're my hero, and everyone that wears that uniform is my hero.
where do you see your foundation going in the future?
Yeah, well, Best Defense, I mean, there's 3 pillars of what we do. So right now, most people are just seeing our Battlefield Return program.
Yeah.
They're in their twilight years of their life, and it's great to give these guys an opportunity to go back to the commemorations, to go pay their respects to their fallen brothers at the cemeteries, and to be a part of the ceremonies. But that's just one pillar aspect of our foundation. The other aspect is Operation Archive. And this is our education initiative to connect our next generation with our veterans, not just World War II veterans, but just veterans in general, so we can understand the impact of what it means to be a service and to protect freedom. Because I think sometimes as our life gets easier, people lose sight of that and forget, because it doesn't impact all of us. The third pillar of what we do is a transition program. So this is going to be the kicker. So this is I'm really excited for this one. This is our transition program that we're doing for our special forces. We're going to give our special forces a roadmap to success. Whatever they need, and we're going to bring guys in and figure out what their needs are and make it happen. So that's going to be one of our big programs that we're going to be constantly doing, and also connecting them with transitioning NFL players. Because as you know, it's very, very similar to what we go through. I played 30 years of football. Yeah. So think about this. For 30 straight years, I put a football helmet on. Every September. 30 straight years. You got me?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's over. It's done. So you lose your purpose, you lose your identity, right?
Yep.
Who are you? Well, I used to be that. It's the same thing. And we're never, ever going to get that excitement of what we did in the past.
Right.
So both our SEALs and our special forces, they're not going to get that thrill of breaching a door,
Yeah.
I'm not going to get that thrill of running out of the tunnel in front of 80,000 fans. And it's very similar between athletes and our guys in the military, and we're going to mesh it, we're going to build it, we're going to help each other out, because we talk about that bond and that brotherhood and that camaraderie. That's what it's about. No man is an island.
Yeah, it is touching. You got me ready to run through a wall right now, man. When you lay down at night and you put your head on the pillow, how accomplished do you feel about what you're doing?
It all depends how I look at it, actually. My accomplishments come from the smiles of the veterans, and the look on their face when they're in a special feeling of where they are. Especially like what I talked about, story about Jerry Deitch. Now that he's gone through the 10 days and been out there and seen what it's about, and now that he talks about it all the time, showing pictures and puffing his chest out a little bit and feeling a lot of pride, that's where I feel good. And I just sit back and I watch that, and I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? He deserves that. They all deserve that. Even the ones that are not here, they deserve that too, but he represents, that generation, and all of his brothers and sisters that are not here, he represents them. And to see that smile on his face makes me sleep on my pillow, with a smile.
It's a lot of work, but it's rewarding.
But I have a great team. I have a great team that helps for sure, on the ground. My wife and how I got to where I'm at, because she's been my backbone. Catherine, she's been my backbone for such a long time, and I wouldn't be here with the Best Defense Foundation if it wasn't for her. She's the one that prompted me to say, Donnie, it's about time you do it for yourself, and you put everything that you've been doing for all these years under your roof, and you be the leader. And you take control, you create your team, and to make it happen. So this is my why. If it wasn't for this man here explaining to me the importance of service and of serving our country, making a difference, and understanding the opportunity. It's right here. It's Max Razzle, 25th Infantry Division, Schofield Barracks.
What'd you say to him today, if you could say one message to him?
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to change my life. It's not where you start, it's where you finish. And any other country, I would still be stuck in the same situation that I was born into if it wasn't for guys like this. So thank you. Because now I'm able to do this, to give back and to serve because of guys like this. That's what I would say.